Hi everybody, welcome back to the farm. I know it is chick days at our local Tractor Supply company and probably at yours too. And the other day I walked into Tractor Supply just to get horse feed, and I'm so proud of myself because I walked past all the bins full of chicks and I did not buy one single chick because honestly I don't need any more chickens. But you know what I did find? Are you guys proud of my self-control? So today in this video, I'm gonna unbox this enormous incubator. So far I have 2 incubators that hatch 12 at a time, so I can hatch 2 dozen eggs at a time. This one holds 41. So I would like to unbox this together with you and see what I think about it, and let's test this thing out and see if it is worth all the hype. Remove the incubator from the packaging. It comes in 2 parts. Top is the cover with a large observation window, power supply cord, heating element, LCD display. I'm having flashbacks of IKEA furniture. It comes with its own candler with written instructions. This is where you will use a baster, like a turkey baster, to fill up the water reservoirs, and this is where you're going to be controlling your humidity down inside these little tunnels. There's another place that you can add water on the other side. So I'm going to flip this upside down. That goes in here. This little mesh goes in first. There's a small notch right here, and the motor for the egg turner is going to fall right inside there and nestle in snug and tight. Here's that motor. So here's the lid. This is your LED display. This controls your temperature, and then this is your This is your power supply, and then this right here, this is going to measure your temperature. So you need to make sure that nothing is coming into contact with that so that it can measure the temperature accurately. There's a notch right here for that power cord to be able to go through while also keeping this sealed. I love that that is a built-in feature. So right here is a notch in the styrofoam where this cord can come out, and this is notched as well. Okay, in all seriousness, I do have a good reason for getting another incubator. Yes, I already have 2. They only hold 12 eggs, and so that's not quite enough for somebody that's trying to start a bona fide chicken business. But somebody gifted us 2 dozen eggs. I was like, do they know that we have chickens? Like, we have so many chickens and I have so many eggs. Like, I can't give all these eggs away. I have so many. And then I thought to myself, what if they're not eating eggs? What if they are hatching eggs? I have no idea what kind of chickens laid these. She has a wide range of colors here. They're beautiful. They range from cream to green to brown with speckles to white. I'm going to be putting her eggs, as well as a lot of my own because I have so many, into this incubator. This will hold 41 eggs. So we're gonna fill it slap full, and we're gonna have a mystery hatch. I do want to keep track of hers versus mine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna label her eggs with the little X and leave mine unmarked completely. And that way I can, when they hatch, I can go ahead and put them into 2 different brooders. And that way as they grow up, I can see what my backyard mix was, because we have cinnamon queens and golden comets and Dominiques and Barred Rocks. And then our roosters, we have very, very different. We have an Easter egger, a salmon favorelle. I have a frizzled Easter egger, as well as a silky rooster, which I don't think he's having much success. The big chickens don't put up with his tiny efforts. Oh, I feel so bad for the poor guy. But anyway, so who knows what we could get. I would love to get some frizzles out of my babies, but anyway, I can't wait to see what hers are and what they look like. I think it's like this mad science experiment. Anyhow, let's get these eggs in. As you know, it takes 21 days for chicken eggs to incubate and hatch. The temperature is rising as we stand here, which is really neat. And the humidity is actually going down. I have not added any water to this at all. Oh, I love this. And so I'm going to fill up the water tray just a bit. And what's neat is that you can add the water from the outside. There's a lot of incubators out there that you have to lift the lid. And if you have to lift the lid in the last 3 days of incubation, you risk losing a lot of heat and having a very cold plummet, which results in shrink wrapping. The inner membrane, which is actually thin like this, could wrap around the chicken and shrink it in there, making it impossible for it to hatch. And so not having to open the lid on the last 3 days of incubation is paramount. So love that feature already. If I needed to adjust the temperature, then I could do that manually. And if I needed to adjust the days, I could do that manually. But this is going to automatically set it to 95.5 degrees Fahrenheit and 21 days for chickens. If you're raising some other poultry, I'm sure that you could adjust that, but I don't need to do any of that. All right, the incubator has been running for several hours now. I'm gonna go ahead and add our eggs to it. The temperature's set, the humidity is correct. Let's get our eggs in there. Now, when I lift the lid up, obviously the temperature is gonna go down, the humidity might go down a little bit, but it should rise right back up as soon as I get the lid back on. Now, I do have a complete video on how to incubate your eggs, what to expect, when to candle them, when you know that an egg isn't viable and how to throw it out, and then through the whole hatching process. So if you want to see that video, go back a couple videos to Incubating 101, but I will give you a couple tips just right here. When I decide where I want to put this, I'm going to consider a couple of factors. One is the fluctuation of humidity and temperature. I do have a big sunroom that has a lot of space, but that room is not insulated at all. And so I consider that if we had a cold spell or it dropped or somebody left a window open at night, my incubator would be working double time. Even though it's insulated with styrofoam, there is a good chance that that temperature would fluctuate. The biggest reasons that an egg may not make it all the way could be based on temperature, humidity, or improper handling. And so I want to put it in a spot where I know that the temperature and the humidity are probably not going to fluctuate. I could put it in my garage. I have plenty of room, but again, the temperature fluctuates so much down there because it's not insulated. So I have a little corner of a homeschool table. It's a homeschool organizer that we don't really use right now. So I moved everything off of it. I'm gonna put it over there. It's also away from foot traffic. And that is really important because things could easily get unplugged in a house of 4 kids. And we have people over here all the time, lots of play dates. Bible study is here with a lot of kids. And it's just, our house is a revolving door of chaos and I love it. But I do need to make sure that this is kind of out of the way a little bit from curious fingers. And the other thing is I'm not gonna put it anywhere where it gets direct sunlight. Direct sunlight obviously is gonna cause it to heat up and that could cause temperature fluctuation as well. So out of the way in a consistently heated place. Thanks for being with me as I unbox my brand new incubator. I can't wait to see how it goes and to give it a full honest review. I'll probably incubate several times before I give it my official opinion. In about 5 to 7 days, I'll be able to candle the eggs to see if they're viable. I've done a video, go back a couple of videos if you need to see my egg candling schedule and kind of how I do it and what to look for and all those things. But I am very curious to see if all of the eggs that we were gifted are fertile. I know one for sure was. I hope the one that I opened wasn't the only one that was fertile. But like I said, it holds 41 and I've got 19 of my own in there. So anyhow, that is all for today's video. Thanks for joining in and we will see you at the candling.